Everyone, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So quick introduction. My name is Raghav. I'm based in Chennai, and the startup club is basically something that I started like last year. So it's a community of individuals in the startup ecosystem trying to network with each other and trying to do some things, have discussions and things like that. So this particular session is the brainstorming session where we will talk about a bunch of things. The topic for today's session is promoting your brand or startup using digital marketing. So quickly, I want to hear some introductions from you guys. Maybe you guys can introduce yourselves.
Yeah, good morning, Raghav. My name is Adarsh. I'm a honor student from a Geetam University.
Okay. And what makes you want to join this session? What makes you interested in startup communities or ecosystem? What is it that you're interested in?
Yeah, actually, I was planning to build a startup which was in a early ready stage. It was in an ideation stage, I can say. So I thought of attending these type of sessions may help me for in a future that I can
Right.
take a lesson from here and I can implement it in my startup.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining and introducing yourself, Adarsh. Yeah, Deepak, do you want to go next?
Thank you for this type of opportunity.
Sorry. Good morning, Raghav. This is Deepak.
Hi, Deepak.
So just a little introduction about myself. So I'm a digital marketer, and I have 18 plus years of experience in this field.
Okay. Can you also tell me where you're from?
I am from Pune, but currently I'm in Delhi because I have recently started some e-commerce. I'm trying to start. So basically, yeah. So in last 9 years, I have been primarily focusing on e-commerce projects.
I see. Okay. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Deepak. Hopefully, we will be joined by a few more people. So, see, the reason why we are having this brainstorming session is that as a startup community, right? I think there is very little opportunity for us to come and easily connect with people in the industry throughout the country. So the point of this session was basically to invite more people to come in and participate and share their perspectives on a certain topic. We've had some really interesting conversations before this, talking about whether starting up in India is better than getting a high paid job in the US or something like that. And there are many tangential topics that people are interested in this space. So we are just trying to get the voices of everybody heard and discuss and learn from each other. So for this particular topic, this topic of promoting your brand and startup using digital marketing, to be honest, I'm not a digital marketer. I'm a founder. I know the needs of a startup, but I don't know the intricacies of doing proper digital marketing. I've employed a certain services before. I used to pay a certain company to make posts on our Facebook page and promote some Instagram stories and things like that. But beyond that, I'm not really that knowledgeable. And I would love to, maybe hear your guys' interest in this topic. Like, what makes you interested in this topic? And if you had some initial, thoughts to go off of, you can share that.
Just from my side, kind of projects I have been working on, it was mainly focused on other than India, it's like international countries like USA and European countries. But the project, the e-commerce store which I have started is mainly for India market. So actually, I do not have much exposure of India market as far as selling products online. So for US market, I know. For e-commerce projects, how to do how to market on marketplaces or website like Shopify, WordPress, and everything. But for India, I do not have much idea. So just I was thinking that if I get some ideas how to market e-commerce or maybe other projects in India, what kind of audience, what with different approach I can take. So that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Deepak. Satyan has joined. Satyan, would you like to quickly introduce yourself?
Hi, good morning. I'm Satyan Vevde from V&G Analab Private Limited. So I'm from Goa. So we are basically an environmental monitoring and compliance management services for services in Goa. So basically, the law that is applicable under the environment, the law that is applicable, that is Environment Protection Act, we give compliances to that. Along with that, we have a laboratory. So what happens is, if you generally see, if you want to test your blood sample, you know where to find, how to find. But if this monsoon is going on right now, and if you say that if you want to test your water quality, you don't know where to go. There are few labs available, but they are all in non-tech this one background, and you don't know where to basically do the analysis. So we want to put a website for it, so that you are able. At least we are piloting it in Goa. If that that becomes a success, then we might use it in the pan-India basis. But being a niche area, I doubt it's non-success to it. But this is what our product is like, what our services are like.
Okay. Well, first of all, thanks a lot, Satyan. By the way, if you guys can come on camera, that would be really nice. It's more like we're meeting together in a certain space, and it would be nice to see each other.
What happened is I'm outside and it's raining heavy. The whole thing is messed up here right now.
No, it's okay if you're not able to. It's not you don't have to explain yourself.
Sorry.
But voluntarily, if you would like to, please go ahead. And Satyan, I just wanted to share some thoughts on this. Like, see, for a product like yours, right? It depends on whether you're able to provide the services beyond Goa, right? If you're able to provide services beyond Goa, it would be great if you can, do it in a place like Bangalore where there is more tech savvy people. There's a higher population density, and you may get higher success rate, right? And I'm not sure how this whole thing works. How do you collect samples, or do they ship the samples, or what happens?
No, see, the whole idea is like this. If you take any industrial unit now, even if you take a restaurant requires a consent to operate from the State Pollution Control Board, and it has to be analyzed from a laboratory which is NABL accredited laboratory. Okay, so that is one part of it. Now, what happens is setting up a laboratory is not that big. This one, if you have the know-how of, we have the know-how about it. Only thing is we need to pilot it in Goa. Why? Because Goa being a smaller state, and what happens is your compliances don't change state to state basis. It is always the common thing, because it's the central act and it's the common thing. So what happens is the success in Goa can easily be replicated in if the software is there. Software can be utilized anywhere in the country. Now, if you have a lab, you can just have a sister concern or a small setup, which with a preliminary requirements, and you can start the work, and then it can be expanded as per the requirements. So one centralized, like you say, you take Metropolis, or you take Sapphire, or you take any blood analysis lab, for example. They have a centralized lab somewhere in Bombay or somewhere in Bangalore, which is NABL accredited, which is full-fledged, and they have collection centers over there in various parts of the country. And in that specific zone, they do it till where the sample can be transported within that 24 hours duration. So now Goa, Bangalore becomes less than 24 hours duration. So it can be those things can be taken care of, And if the samples are stored in the right way, in cold storage or something like that, it's not a big thing right now in these days. Cold storage, transportation from Bangalore to Goa, or from for any part which is in 24 hours range. So even Pune also can come to Goa. So such things, collection centers which are there, that can help actually.
Right. Okay. Thanks for explaining that. So just to, I think a few more people have joined. I would love to read the topic of the session. Basically, we are trying to discuss like how we can promote brands using digital marketing. And I think Gaurav, Ravi, you guys have joined. Maybe you can quickly introduce yourself.
Yes. Hi, Raghav and team. I'm Ravi. I have been heading a business in Dubai on CX domain. And right now I'm in process of creating a firm, which will be focusing on reselling AI-based solutions across different regions. So that's the reason I was interested and curious to join to see from the peers how we can do a better branding exercise to promote the startup which I'm establishing, Raghav.
And Gaurav, thank you for that, Ravi. And Gaurav?
Hey, hi. I'm Gaurav. I'm working as a senior product manager and looking for some ideas to start up my own. Yeah, I'm currently working in security domain, so it's been a new experience for me to join this club. Looking to learn about. Thanks, man.
All right, and I'll quickly introduce like the club itself. The startup club has been around for the past year, and something that I just did it on my side, like my free time to sort of connect with other people and network and do all this stuff. And this particular session is basically all about brainstorming about various topics. And this was a topic suggested by members. Like we have a form. If you go to our website, the startupclub.info, you will see that we have a form for suggesting topics for the brainstorming session. I'm going to put the link.
Sure, absolutely.
The link in the chat. You guys can go ahead and if you want to suggest new topics, you can go ahead and do that. So coming back to the topic of for today, now like I was mentioning earlier that I don't have any expertise in digital marketing, but I'm a founder and I actually want to promote my startup. And I was actually hoping that we could come up with ideas for how these things happen. I do have a couple of ideas myself. Um, I also, like I have a bunch of products that I'm working on. Basically software products that we are trying to like use as a networking platform. For example, I have a app coming up for the startup club itself. So we're building an app for this, and we have to market it to entrepreneurs. You have to market it to investors, interns, or anybody who's interested in being part of a startup ecosystem. If we manage to do that, like that'll be the basic difference between us failing and succeeding. If we manage to successfully market ourselves, and that is the biggest challenge. And I have a few ideas as to how I would do it. So actually, one of the things that we're trying to do is that we're trying to work with influencers, because like influencers have access to markets, like like access to a huge audience, right? So for example, if you see a YouTube influencer with like let's say 2 million subscribers, now if I manage to get in connect with this influencer and manage to get in a commercial contract with them saying that if you promote our products, we'll sponsor your videos, and then I have instant access to advertisement, or at least like awareness of our product or service to the subscribers. And depending on what the nature of the channel is, I can actually go ahead and have a very specific influencer that I want to target. Because like for example, let's say that I'm interested in young students who are into technical studies, then I would go and talk to an influencer who is creating education content for those kinds of people. So if I manage to get that influencer on board and manage to give them an attractive offer, I can probably minimize the amount of money that I'm spending and also have a very targeted exposure to the product to the right audience. So this is actually one of the plans that I have, and I'm working with a community. So there's something called the Influencers Club. I'm gonna put that in the chat. So this Influencers Club is something that think I typed it wrong. So this is actually a community that I'm running for influencers to come together, and once they have that, these influencers will come and join the sessions, and people like us, people who are business owners, could go and establish uh, contacts with these influencers and figure out the right partnership. Okay, so this is something that we just started out, and I would love for you guys to try it out and see how it works, or even share critiques of the idea, because this whole thing is free of cost. I'm not trying to monetize this. This is just like a community of influencers who are in it to promote businesses, because obviously from their perspective as well, they are all trying to get monetize their own influencer game, right? So for them to have access to companies that are trying to get into commercial contracts with them is actually very attractive for them. So it's a win-win situation. So this is what we're working on, and we actually have an event coming up um, on July 21st, and I would like to share the link to that in the chat, so that you guys can sign up for it if you're interested, and you can also share this to other people who may be interested in something like this, where they can come into partnerships with the influencers. So what do you guys think about this idea? Does it seem like a viable idea, or does it seem like something that may or may not work? Thoughts?
Raghav, just one question, query I have. That have you considered experimenting with your targeted advertising campaigns?
Yeah, I used to have this. I had a partnership with this digital marketing firm, doing Facebook page posts, and then we'll also have paid advertisements and things like that. And what I ended up seeing was that a lot of the times these ads were going to people, and the people were messaging me, but they had no interest in actually purchasing the products, or giving us what we were looking for. They were just messaging some random stuff. I just found it really weird, and it really was not very effective when I tried digital marketing using paid promotions on Facebook. But that's the extent of my experience. I would love to hear if somebody else has more experience with digital marketing. But Deepak, do you have any experience? You mentioned that you have some experience in the US, right?
Yes. Yeah, the kind of challenges you have mentioned, I mean, others, I would say the experience, the whatever you have experienced, yes, it happens initially, but later you have you have to filter and then concentrate only the list which is actually useful for you. So that kind of things may be developed. But yes, there is always chances that you will get irrelevant traffic. But the reason I have suggested that you will get broader idea what kind of videos are working for you, what kind of channels are working for you, and then you can shortlist, based on that. Like you have mentioned that already trying to tie up with some influencers. So you will have a kind of fair idea, okay, what kind of channels, what kind of content are working for you. So in that aspect, actually, I have asked.
Right. Right, and I would like to know from others as well. Any of you have you had any experience with digital marketing, and do you have any thoughts to share to the rest of us?
Myself, have not been into digital marketing, Raghav. Probably wise along with you, I may try and understand from other people their previous experiences, which is working and not working. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, even though I have a couple of startups and we're working on a bunch of products, but even then, I feel like I've not really had a lot of experience, but I'm also very skeptical of paid promotions on, for example, Instagram um, or Facebook, because I've seen I guess it's a hit or miss, because I have seen some useful ads even that even I have clicked on, but I've also seen some spam or scammy ads as well. So So I think we may have to like try it out and see, but I'm right now more inclined to like more having more organic channels of like promoting our products or services, which is why I was thinking about this whole influencers club, where people can go and have one-to-one conversations with real people instead of using it in an automated system, which we don't know how it's configured. So that like if they are small enough, then it's not going to be that expensive, but it may still generate some traffic. So this is one thing that I'm looking to experiment on. But we have a bunch of few new people who've joined just now. Those of you who just joined, can you guys introduce yourself? I think Shiva, Srini, Raj. Maybe you can tell us like where you're from and what your background is and what makes you want to join this session. No one? Okay. Guys, don't feel shy. Like, it's okay. Like, you can just talk. Yeah, Aniruddha, go ahead.
Yeah, hi Raj. Sorry, hi Raghu. I just joined. Myself, Anirudh. I'm working with a MNC in Bangalore and currently exploring an option to bring up one app in the real estate business. And that's where it was interesting to join the session to understand how the marketing and the promotion works. So me and one of my colleague is working on an app. It's at very initial stage to build an app for real estate business.
Okay. And who are your clients?
No, I said it's our own idea. Right now, we are not differentiated that it's very at preliminary stage. If you ask client-wise, our thought process is saying the client what we are looking after is the new home buyers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess like I think one of the things that I know about digital marketing is that you have to have a clear understanding of who the market is for you. Whether
Yeah.
you're in a product or a service, it's really important that you have a marketing strategy that is not like spray and pray. It's not like the spray and pray strategy is that you throw everything that you got all over the place and then expect that something happens.
Absolutely.
Right.
If you do something like that, it's going to like expend a lot of resources with very little value output coming out of it. So that's why
That's
it's
true.
really important to first define your demographic, define various aspects of like who your target audience is, and then figure out exact channels through which we can access them in a really concentrated fashion. So that's one of the reasons why I was saying that. So I think even Facebook and Twitter, or I mean not Twitter, I'm not sure about Twitter, but like any other platform that is offering these paid promotions marketing, right? It's going to allow you to select some parameters as to like what kind of an audience you want to select, and then they'll show the ad only to those people. And similarly, one of the reasons why I was talking about the influencers club is that there you already know what kind of people are watching these videos. For example, if you take a YouTube influencer, if you already know what kind of people are watching their videos, and if you believe that they are the right target audience for you, then it would make sense for you to like approach them directly and then have the thing. And I've actually worked on a project where like I wanted to get the support of influencers to go and talk to them, but it was really hard to reach out to them because these people have like 2 million followers, 2 million subscribers. They get so much messages that if you try to reach out to them with a commercial interest, even though they're interested in something like that, they may not be seeing your message. So it's been really hard to like connect with them, which is why I was like starting the influencers network meet, where I'm trying to attract influencers to come on board, and then exchange knowledge, and maybe like we as business owners can connect with them and offer them the opportunity to like monetize their initiatives, and for us to benefit from their I guess like audience strength, because they worked on a long time to build their audience, and for us to like quickly leverage that is a privilege, I feel like. So that was the idea that I had. I posted links in the chat for the networking session that I have with influencers. So if anybody's interested, you can sign up for it. It's a free event. It's an online event where we will on 21st of July we will connect and we'll discuss how to work with them.
Yeah, Raghav.
Yeah.
Satyan here. See, my one concern, if you work with influencer, you are looking at only the positive aspects of it. Now, take the negative aspect of it. One wrong sentence from the influencer can spoil your game also. The classic example, if you see, is Amir Khan's. He made that nonsensical statement, and Snapdeal and this one, they had to be out of business after that. The shares go down, the people disconnecting from them. So, influencers are, if you see Facebook, if you see Twitter as an example, or WhatsApp as an example, they never used any influencers. You actually the problem, the fun is your influencers are more interested in you rather than you. It goes other way around. Once the influencer comes to you, it knows that you know that you are on a good track. If you go to an influencer, then he will have his own attitude and ego, and then you'll have to sustain with his nonsense attitudes. Instead, you concentrate on your product, concentrate on your service, give your time. See, it's what is important is the time you spend in the market. It's not that today you have done a product, tomorrow it has to be a million hit. It will never happen. Not even Facebook happened. Not even for WhatsApp it happened. It took time. That time you have to be ready to spend, and then automatically influencers will come to you. Influencers or everybody will come to you.
Right, but how do you get there though? That initial success, like you're saying, time, but I've seen so many businesses fail even with time if they don't get beyond the plateau stage. Because like if you don't rise up, you're gonna plateau, and I mean it depends on business to business. But yeah, I would like to hear your thoughts.
Exactly, it depends on business to business, and the strategy and the management concepts, the marketing strategy, the service, the product, that also plays an important role. If your product is not that clear about what you are going to do, then any amount of influencer it is not going to fetch you. See, influencers have followers, but the problem is there are too many things that are coming up into it. Of that, how many are going to click it? How many are going to visit your portal or visit your you will use your services?
Yeah, but
see, initially, if you take a niche area, target it on a smaller space, in the sense the smaller location. If you can service that, you see the example of Oyo. Let's forget that Facebook and all US and all that crap. You take Oyo. Oyo started in Gurgaon. They did everything in Gurgaon. The people see it. Ultimately, whatever you say, whatever management concepts or whatever marketing strategy you do, the best marketing strategy is a mouth to mouth.
Word of mouth.
This one, word of mouth. Sorry, yeah, word of mouth always plays. Now, Oyo, what happened? Everybody in Gurgaon was discussing about that. Then they ventured into this. He spent a lot of time on that. The number of years that he spent on that to understand the market, understand the business. But see, when you are entering a market, you feel that this will work, but actually the other way around works, and that other way around takes a lot of time to understand.
Right. Now that's a very valid point. I think it's actually a very important aspect is that word of mouth is that when you have satisfied customers and you give them an incentive to go and tell the other friends or other people that would find it useful, then that is probably the best strategy, where you can get more and more people just through organic outreach. I think it matters more when somebody who's a friend of yours is coming and recommending something to you versus something that you see on an ad somewhere. So it's a very, very interesting, valid point. Thank you, Satyan, for that. And another thing is that actually this is actually worth exploring a little bit further because like when you think about word of mouth, I think you can have like incentives for the customers that are happy with your product to by themselves promote it. I think there are some actually I was in a conference in Bangalore a couple of days ago, And there was this person called Hitesh Chaudhary, right? Hitesh Chaudhary is a very influential instructor on YouTube, and he was giving us an idea as to like how he initially started spreading the word about his channel and his services. And he was talking about like how they had this kind of an affiliate program where anybody who's learning on their platform, if they could manage to get more people on the platform, they get an instant, like, like money, like they get like 1,000 rupees per person that they enroll into the program. So if you do something like that, I think that can also work. But yeah, that's just an idea that came to my mind when Satyen was talking about this. But I think, Aniruddha, you were trying to say something earlier.
Yeah, so one of the things is a thought which when I'm working on this product, right? So came up about the scaler ad, right? The scaler runs a lot of ad and they use their own employees as an influencers in their ads. So I just want to understand more how such kind of advertisement campaigns and other things are works out.
Okay, I've not really heard of Scalar. What is that? Let me look it up.
A scaler is specifically they provide courses, and on the YouTube, they I see a lot of their ads, and specifically what I've seen there, they don't use external influencers. They have their own employees who talks about the course and market and how the software industry is growing, and that is how they are creating the marketing. Means they have their own employees as an influencers who does an advertisements.
Okay.
What Anirudh is saying is right. I'm also been contacted by them, and the way they speak, it's a different approach. There is not that typical influencer approach. These guys, they speak, they are well groomed for the job. They speak about their company's product and why you should be associated with them. They're good. I think so. They're pretty going very fast in this. So you'll have to see what has happened is the market has become saturated now. There are too many influencers. The number of websites, the number of influencers have happened. So they normally don't click off.
Right.
So you will have to have a different strategy. First, I would say first concentrate on your product or your service. Build a good website and service. See, the first client to get is the most difficult. The most difficult part of it. So what we should be thinking of how we get the first one, and then you build on that first one. You have a rapport with these guys. You see, I'll tell my personal example. I started almost 1.5 years back. I have 85 odd customers now, but my first 3 customers, I know them by heart. I can speak to them any given point of time. In this 1.5 years, I developed it. But what happens is these 3 guys, they have brought me those 80 odd people.
Great. Yeah, Deepak, go ahead.
Yeah, so like the concern which you have mentioned earlier, that probably you are getting traffic through paid clicks, but you are not getting conversions, right?
Right.
Yeah. So my question is that have you tried to any tools? Any heat map tool like Microsoft Clarity and all that, to know that actually where they are going, what kind of actions users are coming and taking.
Yeah, not really. Yeah, that is like a little more advanced than what we have tried. But yeah. I think maybe you can talk to us about like what you have done in the US. I think you mentioned something about like you've done some things in the US. You want to explain that?
Yeah. So sometimes what happens, many times we get traffic on website, but they are like they start struggling, or maybe they are not understanding, or like they are not moving any other pages, or like they are not scrolling to your content, or probably basically there is no action by them. So maybe bounce rate is higher, they are not visiting your pages or so that kind of idea you can get. Okay, once they come, where they are going, what kind of things they are doing on your website. Then it will come, fair idea that okay, why we are not getting conversions. So that heat map tool like Microsoft Clarity. So Microsoft Clarity tool is like they provide complete video about user's journey, so that you can understand okay what they are doing once they come on your website. So then probably you can strategize your marketing.
Right. But these tools are kind of expensive, right? Getting a heat map done.
Clarity, Microsoft Clarity, which I have mentioned, is free actually. Just you have to there is online concept. Maybe you have to mention somewhere that you are using Microsoft Clarity on your website, and it's a very easy integration. Just you have to sign up, and you can integrate through your Google Analytics even. And you Microsoft in the Microsoft Clarity account, you can go and see your videos of each user or for all traffic or for all users.
I was actually looking for something like this, and I've been only using something called micro analytics, and then there was Google Analytics. But this one seems more advanced, giving a lot of free stuff.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And if anybody else wants to say something, right, you can just raise your hand, like how Deepak just did, and you can share your thoughts. Has anybody else used something like this, the Microsoft Clarity thing?
No, actually not.
If you use Google My Business, it also has a local influence on a much bigger scale. If you take Bangalore or if you take Goa, then in the local scale, even though being a bigger this one, but the local approach is this one is very good. And
exactly.
And what happens is everybody searches on Google.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, for example, I mean, depending on your business again, right? I mean, if you want to go to a restaurant, you're not going to go look for a restaurant in Delhi or something.
No, you have to hack the system basically.
Yeah.
You should have at least 100 people saying that very good, wow, and all that stuff, and then automatically you come on the number one slot.
Yeah, and actually, I've seen certain companies offer the service of like like fake reviews on Google or Amazon. I mean, I don't want to endorse those. Yeah.
Review. I mean to say, you should have your customer base reviewing your things.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you can put it, then automatically you don't have to pay it for them. That you come on the number one slot.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you are say for restaurant in a certain area, say for Goa, for example, then Goa has around 10 lakh people who are coming every year to Goa. So if you have at least 4,000 to 5,000 of them who are giving a review over there at the time of payment of your bill, if they're giving a review, then automatically your score automatically goes up.
Right.
So such type of things like I've been using. You can find VNG Analab in Goa. It will be on the first slot. Because I have at least 10-15 of my customers who have already given a feedback on that.
Right.
Then automatically people search, and then automatically people find it out on the, and then automatically they connect with you.
Yeah. And I think it also depends on what kind of business that you do, because like for a brick and mortar kind of like a service, Google Maps, I mean Google Reviews is a very, very important tool, because that's where you usually go to Google Maps to find out about a place. For example, if you're having a physical store or a physical office, then you would usually be found on Google Maps. But if there are services that people are offering, for example, let's say that I'm having a web consultancy service. I don't necessarily have to have clients only in the locality that I'm in. I may have to I might have to like reach out to the entire country so that like I can help individuals build their websites or something like that. So I want to get a sense of like how many people here have like what kinds of business. I think we've heard from Deepak regarding his e-commerce, and I think Satyen told about his lab services. Who else is here working on a certain product or a service, and what industry are you guys in? I mean, even if it's not a business that you're already running, if you have an idea for something, I would love to know, because the nature of the industry kind of defines what kind of an approach you should be taking. Because, like, for example, I'm actually working on online applications. These are networking applications. So, for example, this startup club itself is an app that we are building, where we're trying to connect individuals from various regions into the startup ecosystem. Because, like, it's not just Bangalore where people are really wanting to build really successful startups. But unfortunately, if you're in a concentrated place like Bangalore, it's easier to connect with people, because like everywhere you go, you will bump into somebody or the other who's in the startup scene. But if you're far away, then it's really hard, and that's where networking comes into play. So we're building an app that people can download to connect with other people in the whole startup ecosystem. So for something like this, it's not really viable for us to like rely on like Google Map, Google reviews, or things like that. It's more about, I mean, we can have Play Store reviews because it's an app, but beyond that, we also need to have some kind of like a marketing where there is an incentive for the people who are using the app to invite more people on board. So that's where, like, having customized like invite system and incentives for invites would matter. But similarly, I want to hear from other people if they're working on other kind of products that are that require a specific kind of promotion strategy.
Yeah. Hello. My
Yeah.
name is I'm Adarsh.
Mhm.
So as I told, I'm an engineering student.
Mhm.
So my idea was that so people in the metropolitan areas are struggling to find the parking spaces.
Yeah.
So there are parking spaces, but the people are not getting where are the exact parking spaces are. So
Mhm.
this is a problem. So I thought of trying to solve this problem. So how can we? The question is like, how can we onboard the parking spaces to this?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
this was my question. Yeah.
Okay. How do you plan to solve it though?
So we thought of not only the parking spaces and
Hello,
also
hello, brother. Already there is an app. Already
yeah,
there is
there
an
are,
app Park Plus.
yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. But everywhere I ask, I got the same reply. But anyone try to use that applications? My question is that yeah, there are an applications that are running now. But have you ever used that application to try how this solution is solving actually? How they are solving this problem?
But that is not a new idea. It's already
Yeah,
already they
it's yeah.
started up,
I'm
right?
not telling that it's a
So
new idea.
if you are start again, now it will be a competition. It's not a new idea. If you have a new idea, now it will.
Raj, let him finish. Like others, see what he's trying to get at is like, what is your distinguishing factor, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
Why do
got
you
it.
want to start? Yeah, let's. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I used many platforms. Like there are many parking solution, as Raj said. So there are applications such as Park Plus is there, Park Smart is there, My Parkings is there. There are n number of solutions are there. But the thing is, they are not trying to tell us about a real time availability of a parking spaces. See, now you got that there is a parking spaces available in that applications, but did they tell you that there are this many slots are available and you can go and park there? So this is not happening there. So we can try doing this by giving an solution by giving a robust solution which can help them to park their vehicle seamlessly, and they can also they can have a track on the available parking spots in the parking spaces. So suppose I'm not trying to go for these malls and all, because malls will be having enough parking spaces for their customers. So when
Yeah.
the person trying to go outside, so he want to buy something, he need to park his vehicle on a roadside, which may cause a traffic congestions or some of the traffic this may happens, and he can get a fine for that. So why he's doing that? He's not getting where is the parking spaces. That's why he's parking his vehicle in a no parking areas or in a roadside, so that he can bring something as much fast as possible. But the thing is, if we can provide him that real-time availability, here is a parking space and this much parking is available, so he can easily go and park through a nearest parking places. So that's what I am trying to solve here.
Yeah, the only way that I can think of that you can do something like this in open parking spaces is like if you use real-time satellite data or something like that.
Yeah, satellite data we can use, or else there are some solutions such as IoT devices. We can use sensors, or else now AI is booming, so we can use artificial intelligence and machine learning to track the real-time availability as well.
What kind of data would you use to populate the ML algorithms? How would you solve it with AI?
See, we can train a cameras there, and we can train a cameras to track the parking is full or free. So based on that, so if we implement a camera such that it can analyze all the parking spaces there, so it can easily tell us that we can then reflect that data into the application. So that may be easy for us also to do that.
No, I think Adarsh, I just want to like give some little bit of advice regarding this.
Sure.
See, one of the things is that before you start to work on something, right, you have to like understand the costs involved plus the monetization strategy, because
Yes,
like
sir.
there is a certain cost associated with getting a customer for any
Yeah.
business, right? Cost to customer acquisition cost, and then like revenue per customer that you're acquiring. So these two things you have to balance it out, so that you can get a significant enough margin that will warrant the kind of investment that you're doing. So for example, right now you're talking about placing cameras and all this stuff. Placing a camera
which
is
may
not
cost
a
higher. Which may cost a higher. So
and also you have maintenance costs. What are you going to do if some kids start throwing stones at it and break it down? Right?
Yeah, like we thought of all this, but need to try some other solutions as well to get out from this, because as you said, there is more cost involved, and who is going to invest in that? Whether we need to invest or a parking space owners will invest. The parking space owners will not at all interested in investing this, because they are already having a business there. Why they want to invest on us, and they want to show it for others? So that
and also the other thing, right? Who's going to pay for this? First of all, India is not a country where people pay for anything. They don't want to pay for anything, right?
Yeah.
So how are you going to make the money, right?
Yeah, as I said, I was in a just ready stage, so I thought of all these, and I thought of asking you people as well. So what kind of insights may I get? So thought of that, and I asked you.
Sure. And I welcome the fact that you shared your idea and you're getting your discussion done. And the thing is that you have to also look at the capital that you have to invest. If you want to do this in a city like Delhi or just Delhi, it's like you're going to have a lot of cost, but also like people, only the people in that city will know about it. And if you want to expand throughout the country, then you'll need to like go get a series of funding done and all that. But I think if you really want to do this, make sure that you have a starting capital, and that is not a small amount. I mean, given the technological complexities involved, it's not a small amount. You have to like start with a small region where there is this issue is like very prominent, and then you have to like implement the technological infrastructure to facilitate this, and then see how you can scale it up beyond that by going for other series of round of funding. So that's my only like most realistic approach would be that. But again, it depends on the engineering and technological solutions that you employ to do this.
Yes.
Again, after this, you need to also work about the marketing, which is the topic that we are talking about today. And so for something like this, I think it's almost like there is a disincentive for somebody to share the app to somebody else, because like now their parking space will be limited if they happen to share the word of mouth to somebody else. So you have like an inherent challenge right there. And the more the number of people who use it, the less incentive that there will be for new people to come and use it, because it's already been populated by all the people who are using the app.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of challenges here.
Yeah, like I didn't thought about this. Like I don't had an idea about this. Like marketing this product may go for this type of issues. So I haven't had an idea about this. I got a new insight from it.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks, Adarsh. Anybody else? Like, do you guys have anything else? We have like 10 more minutes left, and I want to see if there are some other insights regarding marketing that we can take away from this session. I think Naveen, you just joined, right? Naveen, maybe you can introduce yourself and tell us if you're working on a product or what's the reason for you to join this session. And if any of you other guys also have some challenges in your business or ideas, we can discuss that. Raj, were you able to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I am working in on MNC. Just I need to get information for start a small business like a startup. I'm looking for how to build a idea, how to get an money from others, like investment bank, right? So like to know that. That's why I'm joined here.
Okay, so you want to set up an investment firm or something like that?
No. I don't want to set up investment firm. I like to know how to approach them, how to get an idea, how to build the product. That's why I joined it.
But even before that, you have to first have an idea that you want to create as a business, right? Do you have something like that already in mind?
Yeah, I have an idea.
I think we lost your audio.
Before that, I need a team, right? That's why we are. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. Looking for team to build on that idea. Just it's an idea from the AWS, right? It's a booming one. They are helping a lot of business. Amazon Web Service. They build an infrastructure for every industry, and their IT show. They give an IT solutions for every industry right now. So we want to be a consultant for them. So that's why I'm looking for here to get to how to improve our startup techniques and how to build a team. That's why I joined here.
Okay. Thanks, Raj.
Yeah.
And
without IT, today no one can jump into the world. That's a big deal. So if you are starting in an IT-based product, it will reach out to everyone within a second after your product, right? So the product is quality is good, then it will succeed within. Before that, somebody says you have to wait for some time. No. Today's world is running in IT. If you are getting good product with the right solution, you can jump into the world within 2 to 3 days now. Right now, before that, Aadhaar says right parking has it's a lot of problem right now, right? But there is need an IT solution. You said the camera that is all very higher cost. Make my trip, make my trip. Oyo, they build the product. Oyo, Ritesh Agarwal. He's a guy, 17-year-old guy, jump on from college and start a small business. Oyo, he just start a hotel first, and then he build a product to Oyo. Now it's an over the country in India, we all use Oyo, right? The product reach out to everyone within 1 to 2 years. That is the success. So we have to build that type of idea and right team. So I'm looking for the same. That's why if we are connected here means somebody's have a idea. So we can help them. I'm working in IT right now. So I can help them. I have some IT guys to our team, and so we can help them to start a business and IT related things. If they want an idea from IT, we will give that. That's right. That's the only thing. So I joined here. Yeah.
Yeah, and if any of you guys need to network with other members of the startup community, you can just post an ad or post a message in the Telegram group. So we have over 700 people in the Telegram group.
Chennai Jigs is an best community. Chennai Jigs. I think they have 5,000 plus members. Now it's right now. I think it's 10,000 plus members. I think you can see in Meetup. Joined with them. They have a better solution. If you have an idea, they will create a product. They have a lot of IT guys joined together. So it's a minimal cost. You can build some product for your. I think it's helpful to others.
Right. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, we got like 5 more minutes, guys. I want to know if there is anything else that's on your mind regarding the whole marketing thing. I think one of the other things, like I think Raj was just mentioning, the finding out communities, right? Focus communities where people are there, and going there and seeing if they have some channel of marketing. That is also like really useful. Obviously, like nobody likes to have like people come and promote their own businesses in various things. But if a certain place has dedicated channels for marketing, then we can use that. And actually, one of the things that I'm trying to do with the startup club is also that I want to promote like like promotional between the various aspects of the startup ecosystem. For example, there are companies that are offering services to startups and entrepreneurs. And if they come and establish their presence on our app, then they can promote their business to the startups. And similarly, startups who would be benefiting from that will easily be able to reach out to these guys and then have a connection. So yeah, like if you find like large communities of people, it's a great place to go and join them. And for example, right now, Raj just advertised his own idea and product and things like that. So like that, you can promote yourself while also like adding value to the people who are in that space. So that is another idea that I have. But honestly, like like I said, I'm not really an expert in the digital marketing space. This whole session was meant to be a place for all of us to come together and discuss ideas. I think we've had some really good ideas. I think Satyan gave us some really nice ideas before he left. But yeah, any other closing thoughts? Because like we have 2 more minutes.
Yeah, Raghav, I have one quick question here.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking about creating a YouTube channel to start promoting the concept whatever I spoke about at home, real estate app, right?
Mm-hmm.
So typically, see, to start with, see what idea is. Typically, when any new buyer, home buyer, or anyone who's want to construct a new house, they typically try to search the plans online. Okay,
Yeah.
and there are a lot of YouTube channels which talks about constructions and real estate, as well as they give suggestions on the plans also. So I was thinking about the similar way to start one YouTube channel where I can just promote such things and parallelly promote the app as well. So how do you think about that? How is that?
No, yeah, I have a couple of ideas for you. There's an app called No Broker. Have you heard of it? Right. This is probably the place where most people go to buy properties or rent properties.
Right.
You've heard of it, right? No Broker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So whatever you're thinking, it seems like you're basically competing with them, if I'm not mistaken.
See, they typically in the market of selling not the selling, but just aggregator of the flats and the residential properties. Okay, so my app is about how to select the right property.
Actually, there is also the other idea that I had was that there's a YouTube channel thing, right? So that there are already so many YouTube channels that have this like high-end luxury homes and things like that. They'll go and review the whole place, and then they post a video of it on there, and then they'll have the WhatsApp number in the throughout the video. So anybody who sees that property, they'll go and inquire them. Or they'll also say that we have so many other properties like this. We're only showing this one right now. So if you want to contact about other properties, you should contact us in the number. So I mean, my mom sees some of these things for time pass, and sometimes people get an idea as to like what are the kinds of properties that are there, and how do you make a decision. These things you can, if you make an educational YouTube channel, right? You can actually make some progress. Actually, I want to share a small. I just remembered that there was this one person who was talking about like creating YouTube channels. So let me post this in here in the chat. So this, if you're interested in creating a new YouTube channel, right? This guy is like helping out to do that. So this is a message that I found on WhatsApp. I think it's called a Growth Club, where if you're dreaming of launching your own digital business but worried about budget and experience, we've got you covered. Check out a brand new video where we unveil the secrets of launching a digital dream, even on a shoestring. So there's a video where he's explaining all the stuff they're offering as a service. And I think I think for your use case, if you start a YouTube channel, it might be very, very beneficial, because like YouTube is a great place to be discovered, right? It's going to take some time, because like if you want to beat the YouTube algorithm, you have to like make consistent content. And if you make consistent high quality content, after a certain number of months, it'll yield in like revenue. I think you have to like understand how YouTube algorithms work. So there are like a lot of resources for that already. So if you use this kind of a marketing, it's actually a cost intensive, but it is cost. It's not very cost intensive, but it is very time intensive. So you have to like balance those.
Understood.
Okay, guys, I think we've reached the end of the session. It's 12 p.m. right now. It was really nice connecting with all of you. Any other things before we close? Any closing thoughts? Was this useful as a session? Yeah.
Can I get a Telegram link?
Yeah. So our Telegram app link, everything is in our official website. I'm sending you the link here. The startupclub.info. Basically, if you go there, you will see the link to our Telegram channel, the meetup group, and everything else. You can also find a link to the form to fill up the details for the next, like brainstorming session, what we want to discuss in the next session. And also we conduct startup workshops. Okay, startup pitch workshops, where we have an investor panel who will review your startup pitch. So if you have a startup idea and you want to pitch your product and get some constructive criticism or constructive like review and feedback for your pitch, you can sign up for that as well, where you'd get the chance to pitch to a VC investor, and they will give you a feedback on this. And if they like your product enough, they may even invest in your product. So also that link for that also is in the official website. So please go and check that out. Thank you so much for joining us on a Sunday morning. I hope to see you guys again next time. All the best, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.